Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Draw Something. My name's Andy, and I'm going to be here doing drawings by request for the next couple hours. And tonight's theme for my drawings is plants. So let me go ahead and move on over to the multi-view here. You can see me, you can see up there, I got my drawing paper ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and start a drawing right now, but this is a by request show, so if you have any funny plant, I have it there on the screen, if you have any funny plant related ideas you want to see me draw on paper, just drop your request in the chat and I'll get it on. I tend to do, the drawings I do myself tend to take a little bit of time, so if you throw in a request, I will put this aside and come back to it later. But yeah, if you have any funny ideas for a drawing, let me know. Alright, let me see here. I'm gonna start this off. So I'm starting off with a tulip. A tulip that is driving. I'm giving the tulip some lips. 2 lips to be precise. Hold on a second. Gonna have her, basically she's doing, putting on her lipstick while she's in the car. Because she's at a red light. Kind of a risky endeavor, obviously, because red lights are temporary, and once the light changes to green and you happen to have someone else behind you, they could get a little bit irritated with you. So yeah, she's putting on lipstick. Because I'm going to draw the stoplight here. Stoplight, traffic light. I think either of those terms works. I'll go ahead and start tracing over what I've got so far. Make it a little easier to see. Something I've started to do a lot more of in the last couple weeks is these kind of story drawings, where it's like multiple drawings in one. Earlier on, I was mainly just doing just one single shot, one single scene. But the ideas, I keep getting ideas that I feel like need multiple panels to flesh out. Like all my original drawings I did last week, or all the drawings I did that were based on prompts I had already set up for myself. The ones that came in by request were, you know, pretty basic, straightforward ones. They were great requests. I don't mean basic and straightforward by any means is a bad thing. They were awesome. But usually the ones that I end up coming up with myself are more... I need more than one drawing to really get it fleshed out or really fully realize the idea. Now, there's also been requests that I've also taken that approach with, so it just kind of depends on what the idea is. Planetary 121, great to see you here. And let me see what comment. Muchnick. I'm sorry to say I don't recognize that name. Is that from a video game or a TV show that maybe I haven't heard of? There's a lot of TV shows that I haven't watched, so it's more than likely that that could be it. But if that's a request, Planetary 121, I could, Oh, Moochniks was that was the shop in Little Shop of Horrors. You know, it's been a long time since I've seen that movie. I have seen it, it's just been a while. Also, Fergal F. Ferguson. Sorry I didn't say hi to you sooner. Welcome. Thanks so much for being here. And for also being the official timekeeper. Alright, so I'm about done with this first panel. Alright, yeah, so Tulip putting on lipstick onto her two lips. Yeah, so, that basically covers it. So there we go. She's in her car, putting on lipstick. Light is red. Now we're going to go to the second panel here. Alright. So I'm going to draw the Tulip in a shocked, scared out of her mind pose. Just trying to visualize what that should look like. Usually, what's coming to mind and what I often do in this case is I make it like I make them polygonal instead of I take all these smooth round edges and just make them polygonal. Like I don't make them round, I make them like all the roundness is just taken out. It's a little... maybe that wasn't the best explanation. I have trouble explaining myself sometimes. But yeah, her eyes are going to be square, and her pupils are going to be square. It's like suddenly she's a robot or something, kind of. But really, that's just how I often like to draw my characters when they get shocked or startled by something. Oh, Fergal. You know what? I actually was just hanging out on another art streamer's stream last weekend, and it was last Friday, and he was streaming some games, and I was fortunate enough to be able to participate with him and his other streamer friends. And one of the games we played was part of the Jackbox games, which is like basically a successor to the You Don't Know Jack trivia game from back in the 90s. The same developers have gone on to make multiple games sort of in a similar vein, very sarcastic and irreverent. And one of the games that was in that party pack was called Survive the Internet, which basically involved taking out of context quotes and using them to make people look bad, which is something that happens all the time on the internet, so it felt very in line. Alright, yeah, so you can see she's got a shock expression here, or maybe you can't see. Okay, making sure it's still on the camera. I have a habit of pushing it off camera so you can't actually see what's going on, and that's no good. Let's see, a good story that I heard is canoodling. That's an awesome word. Planetary 121, yeah, I knew about the old 1960 movie. Did not know that Jack Nicholson was part of it. I knew about the stage musical and then the movie based on the stage music, yeah. And I also knew about the cartoon. I actually do know about all those various interpretations. But I've only seen the 80s movie and nothing else. Hold on. Having the mirror flying out of her hand, I want to make it a little more dramatic. Yeah, there we go. Make it do a full 90-degree turn. Yeah, it's really funny. I had a whole day to brainstorm about prompts for this stream tonight, and Little Shop of Horrors didn't even cross my mind. That's kind of weird. That's one of the probably one of the most prominent pop culture plant characters out there. Audrey too. Also, so it's gonna zoom out, and this is actually a flower pot that she's driving. It's a flower pot with wheels, and I just realized that I had, partially submerged the steering wheel in dirt. Seems like it would make it a little hard to steer, but I guess she managed to make it work okay. Or maybe I just didn't think that through. Either way is possible. the reason she's so startled is because some angry driver behind her is honking impatiently. Also, it'd probably help if I actually showed the green light, because that would actually put into context why there's an angry driver behind her. I mean, he could just be being a jerk and honking for no reason, but he does have some reason for being a jerk. He's still being a jerk, though. Planet 121, basically a Donald Duck short. So, like, was it like actually animated, or was it just like just in terms of the story, felt like it would be a Donald Duck cartoon? Did the main character or one of the characters start speaking in incomprehensible gibberish and get super angry and just go? Because that basically sums up Donald Duck. And really, I love that about Donald Duck. Okay, so we move on to the final panel here, where this all comes together. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that happening. Also, Seymour got hypnotized in the original version. I don't remember that happening in the 80s movie. Alright. Alright, so the driver behind the tulip that's angrily honking at her is a daffodil, which is one of my favorite flowers, honestly. I just find their design fascinating, or just interesting. But yeah, one of the advantages the Daffodil has to his peers is that he doesn't actually have to honk his car horn to get people to move in front of him to move. He just has a built-in horn, in his mouth. So that's what he's doing here. He's basically just honking his own horn at the lady in front of him because he's impatient and wants to get where he's going, and she's in his way. Really, this is actually almost kind of a complicated moral situation because, you know, he is being rude, but at the same time, she's inconveniencing everyone by doing her lipstick at a stoplight. So, kind of makes you wonder who's really in the right and who's really in the wrong, or maybe they're just both in the wrong. Or in some weird twist of way, they're both in the right. It's a moral quandary. But I don't know, I just thought it was a funny idea. Planetary 121, Donald's Diary. Is that a short? Or is it like an actual book? I'm gonna redraw the Daffodil's eyes here to look like they're pointing a little. He looks like he's just looking straight ahead at the light. He should be looking down or at the tulip here. There, that's a little better. Alright, there we go. I think that'll basically cover it. So yeah, Tula's putting on lipstick at the stoplight, and then the light turns green, and this Daffodil behind her isn't very happy about being held up, and uses his natural built-in horn to let her know about it. Alright, so let me go ahead and date and initial this. And I'll go ahead and bring up the close-up view. There we go. Alright. Once again, this is a by request show, so if you have a plant-themed drawing, I keep wanting to say plant-based drawing, which could be taken multiple ways. But yeah, if you have a plant-themed drawing idea, Tracer Fit, great to see you here. Yeah, if you have any fun ideas you want to share or drop in the chat, I will be happy to draw it for you. Just let me know. And Irene Pena Music, great to see you. I apologize I didn't catch you earlier. I saw you were live, but I went to tune into you about an hour ago and you were already off air. But great to see you. Thank you so much for stopping by. Alright. So I got another multi-panel drawing I'm going to go ahead and start on here. Banana trees fighting over a monkey. Tracer Fat, that's a good one. Let me go ahead and get started on that for you. I'll be honest, I don't actually know. I can't picture specifically what a banana tree looks like. Let me look up a picture here. Okay. Alright, I think I have a general idea what to do here. So let me go ahead and get this started. You know, Tracer Fred, I just actually, I was going to just have them, like, you know, maybe playing tug of war with a monkey. But then I decided, I was thinking, you know, maybe to add an extra layer to the joke, have the, maybe they're not so much fighting over the monkey as much as they're having a game of catch with, like, throwing a banana back and forth to each other, and the monkey is in the middle of them trying to catch it and failing. I know that's not quite exactly what you requested, so I can do exactly what you requested initially because it's your choice. But I'll go ahead and start drawing the banana trees just to lay the groundwork. Alright, so yeah, from what I'm seeing in the pictures I've looked up, banana tree leaves have these little indents in them. Flowers growing in a music bed. Irene Pena, I can totally do that. What do you mean by music bed, though? Is there like a music term where it's like, is there like a, I'm not familiar with that term, music bed. I'd love to draw it for you, I just want to know exactly what it is. Oh, a planner, like a planner full of music notes. Okay, I can do that. Alright, added that to my list. Thank you, Irene. Irene, it doesn't necessarily have to be funny. I've done some drawings that are mainly just wholesome. I mean, I like to make the drawings funny, but they don't always have to be. They can just be cute or, you know, nice. I'm fine with that. Alright, so I kind of drew this like it was a palm tree, but it's not a palm tree, it's a banana tree. And banana trees apparently don't have thick stumps like that. Or thick bodies. Yeah, bodies. So I'll go ahead and make that a little bit skinnier. Oh, Irene Pena, like a sort of a Hatfields and McCoys type deal. They're not like us, therefore we don't like them. I don't know if that's specifically Hatfield and McCoys, but it's that kind of conflict. Yeah, I could add that in. You know, actually, as far as like not liking the same music, Irene, did you see the movie Trolls World Tour that came out a couple years ago? Because it was very much similar to that in theme. It was basically all these different nations of trolls who all liked their own kind of music but didn't like other kinds of music. And basically it was just this one big fight between them, like, oh, our music will reign supreme. No, our music will reign supreme. I was thinking of that as we were discussing that, fighting over, you know, music. So yeah, right now I'm just drawing the banana tree leaves. Keeping it fairly simple. Yeah, Irene, that's a good comparison. Though, wasn't Footloose more about the dancing than just the music? It's been so long since I've last watched it. I can be totally wrong on that. And it's really a very pedantic thing to argue anyway. Like, music, dancing kind of go hand in hand, so by abolishing dancing, the, you know, John Lithgow character was probably just as much abolishing, you know, that kind of music. No, it must be all sing. We must be only hymns and organ music and old time music, not this newfangled dance. All this Shalimar and Sammy Hagar. The devil. Something like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and change the pose here. Instead of him doing an overhead, not even over his head, just kind of a, I think it would probably be more fitting to have him do an underhanded throw. Sammy Hagar says he's gonna drive over 55. The devil. Bad influence. Let me go ahead and start tracing over this. I've been doing a lot of sketching without actually tracing and making it more visible. Yeah, I mean, granted, you know, Sammy, I don't think was referring to wherever Footloose takes place, that little small town. He's, you know, talking more like, you know, the big cities, LA and such. It took him 16 hours to get to LA. But maybe he'd feel a little differently if he was just passing through this little quiet small town. Yeah, Marky Mark, which also, welcome Marky Mark. Kind of slow on the uptake, sorry. Yeah, separation of church and state is probably optimal. I don't know if I want to get too political. This is just a, simple little drawing stream. But yeah, I would definitely say let church be church and let, government be government. Especially in movies. Because stuff can happen in movies that might not happen in real life. At least not the way that it does in the movies. Go ahead and move that over. Virgo, I'll be honest, unless I have brand new clothes that I'm washing that I just bought or just got as a present, I don't really worry about washing my clothes separately. I'll just wash my colors and my whites together, and it tends to work out fine. But only if there isn't anything new. If I have a new piece of clothing that I just got and wore for the first time and I'm washing it for the first time, I'll separate the colors and the whites to prevent any color bleeding. Because it seems like that first wash is like the most important one to be worried about that for. That has the most potential for color bleeding. Virgo, that you do you, man. How are those sweatpants holding up? Yes, he doesn't wear red. Yeah, red seems to be the big, that seems to be like the big one that bleeds. Seems oddly appropriate. Oh, you know what? You know what these banana trees are missing? Actual bananas. Maybe I should add some of those. Knew something seemed to be missing here. Yeah, let me add some bananas to the banana trees. Which just adds a little extra bit of humor here, because Monkey's, trying so hard to get this one banana when he could literally just, try and steal this whole bunch of bananas from the, one of these trees. Though, I guess measuring the risks of either option, maybe going for this one banana is probably the better choice. I don't know the whole story about this scenario. Oh, Irene, I was wondering if it was an actual real music term. An instrumental track to sing to, okay. Alright, yeah, so drawing some bananas on the banana trees. Virgo, yeah, me too. Or at least relearned. I might have learned it at some point and then just forgotten about it, because there's only so much space up here to hold information. Hold on a second. I'm gonna redraw this here so I can have both of his hands in front of the leaves. Just kind of a perspective thing. Nothing major, just a minor little change. Irene, enjoy your lurk. Alright. There we go. Got the bananas on the banana trees. So all that's left now to draw is the monkey. It looks a little awkward, the tail. Let's see if, okay, yeah, I think adding that line makes it a little less awkward. Alright, yeah, so, alright. Trying to think of how I should add to the background here. I don't know. Just kind of a vague jungle-like background. Oh, typical 8-ball not wanting to give the actual clear answer. Why haven't I fired that thing yet? I technically did. I guess he's just refusing to leave, so he's just gonna stick around. Whatever. I'm not paying him anymore. Yeah, I think that looks good. This was for Tracer Fett, I believe. Let me just check and make sure I'm right on that. Yes. Tracer Fett, I'm glad you love it. Go ahead and bring up the close-up view. Alright, thank you Tracer Fett for the excellent request. And I have a request for Irene Pena, but she just took a lurk, so I'm kind of wondering if I should wait until she, to see if she comes back to do her request. I think I'm gonna, wait and see if she, comes back from her lurk, and then I'll do her drawing request. Right now, I'll go back to this one that I was working on. Alright, so what I'm doing here is kind of a different take on the very classic and well-worn knight saving the damsel in distress. Typical scenario, the knight rides up to the tower, and there's lo and behold, there's the princess inside the tower, but there's some mysterious beast that's guarding it that he has to defeat. He must slay the beast. Fergal, that's an interesting belief. I mean, I would have thought, what are those? Those spiky plants? Those spiky fruits that grow in the jungle, durians, I think it's what they're called. I would have thought those were probably the meanest fruit-bearing plants, because you just take one look at those fruits, and it's like, you could cut yourself just trying to eat one of those. It's like, just trying to grab it is like, ah! I mean, maybe they're not as tough and spiky as they look. I honestly barely know anything about them. I only know about them from an old video game I used to play. Oh, well, now I feel guilty for misjudging. Never judge a fruit by its appearance. Doesn't quite roll off the tongue as well as book by its cover, but it is more accurate to the situation. Hold on here. Alright, so I'm getting a bit of a slow start here, still trying to find my footing. But yeah, basically, you got a knight who's approaching this tower that holds a damsel in distress. Classic fairy tale scenario. Mark, who's looking at you? I mean, I'm looking at your message in the chat, but I'm not actually seeing your face. Alright, so drawing a little bridge here between where he's standing and the tower. It's not the tower that's talking, it's the princess over here who's talking. There we go. That's better. No, wait! You must beware of the beast which guards this prison! Okay, so... Hold on a second. Redraw the feather here. It didn't look very feather-like. That's better. Alright, so he's looking down into the abyss that the bridge is laid over, and he can hear some snap, 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 snap. Some very suspicious sounding noises. And of course, the maker of those noises will be revealed in this final panel. Erotic and kinky. Like, you mean the snapping mark? Also, wow. Sorry about that, guys. The camera looks like it's a little. Like the light glare is a little bad. I apologize. Hopefully, moving it over here will make it a little less intrusive. Hold on a second here. Mark, that's good to know. Thank you for that valuable information. Hey, Cheese343, awesome to see you here. Very happy to see you stop by. How are you doing tonight? Oh, Cheese Tree, thank you. You're too kind. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Right now, I'm drawing an ant. It's an ant knight about to save a princess knight or damsel in distress ant that's here in this tower. It's that classic fairy tale scenario. But it turns out there's a Snapdragon that's guarding the tower, so that's what I'm drawing right now, is the Snapdragon lunging out of its abyss prison and scaring the crud out of this poor knight. It's taking a little time for me to get this all drawn out. But that's what the end goal is. Yes, Cheese Tree, that is what I do. I I have a stream on Saturday where I color my drawings at 1 p.m. Pacific, Saturdays. This is the drawing stream where I just draw it out on paper. And then over the next couple days I'll scan it in, get it ready to color, and then I'll color it on Saturday. Cheese Tree, thank you for the follow. Greatly appreciate that. Glad to have you here. Oh, big old remote explosion there on the screen. Oh, and I said Snapdragon. I should have said it in plural. That was something I was doing research today to figure out these drawing prompts. I was initially thinking a Snapdragon was just like the whole plant, not just each of the individual little flowers, but apparently it's each of the individual little flowers, I think, that's called a Snapdragon. So instead of being just a Snapdragon, it's a whole group of Snapdragons, whatever the plural term is. Cheese Tree, really it's just whatever crazy thing you want me to draw. Like, so far tonight I just got done doing a request of a monkey, two banana trees throwing a banana back and forth to each other, and a monkey in the middle trying to catch it and failing. So just something like that, or even just any basic scenario. So just drop it in the chat if you have an idea, and I'll put it on my list, and I'll probably get to it next. That Chaplin emote is awesome, cheese. Yes, he's quite a dapper fellow. I have a kind of a dapper emote of my own. It's the you always call him the channel mascot. He's the fancy giraffe with a top hat and monocle. One of the first drawings I did on the stream by request, and he's made several appearances in my drawing since. So yeah, there he is. Several of him flying across the screen. Cheese Tree, yeah, you could say that. Alright, so these Snapdragons are kind of doing two different things depending on what side of the plant they're on. You have these ones blowing fire at the knight to intimidate him. And then you have these other ones that are looking at the princess and snapping to scare her back into her tower. Charlie Chaplin picking cheese tree? Absolutely, I can do that. Let me add that to my list here, and I will... Actually, I'll do that now, since this will probably take a little while longer, and because of that, I'll just do requests right as soon as I get them. So yeah, let me get that in my list, and I will draw it for you. And a similar face to your remote? Yep, totally. Before I get to that though, been here for a little over an hour now, and I could definitely use a stretch if anyone wants to redeem a stretch in the chat. I can show you some yoga poses, and also just my legs need a stretch. It's feeling a little bit sore. Marky Mark, thanks for the hydrate. And also thank you for the stretch. Alright, it is time for a special segment on the show called Yoga Poses with Andy. Here we go. Thank you, Mark. Definitely needed that. Alright, so for Cheese Tree 43, I'm going to go ahead and draw Charlie Chaplin picking a lemon off of a lemon tree. Cheese Tree 43, actually, yeah, I remember watching that as a kid. When I was really little at daycare. Yeah, what was that, the 12 o'clock stretch? Or something like that? I can't remember what the exact name was, but I totally remember that. Yep, got some real nostalgia there. Cheese Tree, I could do that. Alright, so there we go. Oh. Alright, so I'm drawing Mr. Chaplin here. Looks like he's got to have a necktie, so I'll definitely add that in. Can't forget the necktie. Hold on a second. Seems like it actually has like one eyebrow kind of caught in that image, so let me go ahead and make it look a little more like that. Actually move his eyes down just a little bit so I can give myself more room. There we go. Da, 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 da. Alright, Cheese Tree, is this living up to your expectations so far? Or what do you think? I should just say, what do you think? I'm almost thinking when I colorize this, I should make it black and white. That would be the most fitting, because Charlie Chaplin was a black and white silent film star. Awesome, Cheese Tree. I'm glad you like it. pretty much got Chaplin done. Just gotta get the lemon tree all drawn out. Baggy pants. Alright, these pants aren't especially baggy. I can improve that. There we go. There's some baggy pants. Alright, I think I'm just about done here. Maybe go ahead and put a nice fancy concrete brick circle around the tree. Or maybe it's just a brick circle. Alright, any other background details you want me to add, Cheese Tree? Because there's just kind of a lot of big empty space here, so I could certainly add in some extra stuff if you want me to. Oh, is that his studio? Okay, well, I can add his studio in the background. I mean, I guess, was it in his studio or was it like in the courtyard of his studio? So I'm a little bummed that today wasn't 2/22/22, so I could write that several times on stream. But 2/23/22, I guess, is close enough. Oh, really? It's now the Jim Henson Studio. Interesting. Yes, Tuesday. You know what? I think you know what? There is something I actually think I can do. Since he was a film star, I'll have this playing out on a film cell. Oh, that's super cool. I never knew about that. That's awesome. Alright. I was worried about this, putting this little blurb right here that it might get in the way of what I drew eventually, so yeah, I'm gonna move this so I can draw the end of the film cell right here. There we go. I'll just move that a little over here, little to the left here. For Cheese Tree 43 on Twitch. And date and initial it. And that should do. Think I felt good about this. How about you, Cheese? Let me go ahead and bring up the close-up view. And you know, I'll just go ahead and add some grass here in the background just to add a little bit more detail. G3, you are welcome. Thanks so much for the request and for stopping by. I'll need to stop by your stream at some point. Alright, there we go. Alright. Alright, I'm going to get back to the drawing I was working on. If anyone has another request they want to throw out, by all means. Cheese Tree, yeah, that's, it really did sound like silent film music. It totally did. It's funny, I've been using that in my stream for several weeks now and didn't even think about that, but yeah, that fit perfectly with the drawing I was just working on. Alright, so here we're going to play a little game called Can Andy Fit 2 more letters in this tiny little space he's left for himself? Or is he going to have to move the helmet? He's probably going to have to move the helmet. Darn. just don't think these things through. Alright, so I'm drawing the princess in her tower right now. Princess, damsel in distress. That character that's in the tower. I guess damsel in distress is the proper term given the scenario. Alright, so I think that'll pretty much wrap it up for this drawing. Let me go ahead and date and initial it, and I'll bring up the close-up view. So there we go. Snapdragon guarding the tower. Make sure I traced over this right. It looks a little cool. Alright. Thank you, Cheese Tree. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get another drawing started here. Got a couple more prompts for myself that I can do. And Irene Pena Music did give me a request, but she still hasn't come back from her lurk yet. I'll go ahead and do one more drawing, and then if she still hasn't come back, I'll just go ahead and do it for her. But I want to wait and see if she comes back so I can do it for her while she's here. Alright, so let me go ahead and start this one here. Alright, so what I got here is a PSA warning its viewers to beware of dandelions. Who in this particular universe are seen as a rather lecherous lot. Or treacherous lot. One of those words. Sometimes I can't English. I apologize. This is a dandelion, a seemingly dapper fellow. That hides a dark secret. So kind of a funny connection here with that Chaplin drawing I just did a couple minutes ago. We have a dapper dandelion with a top hat and a monocle and a bow tie. I'm kind of getting some Chaplin vibes from drawing this. I came up with this general concept several hours ago. It's just funny having just drawn that Charlie Chaplin drawing. Now doing this one and being like, huh, this seems kind of similar. Oh, you know what? I felt like he was missing something. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give him a mustache to add to his dapper appearance. So here we got him pulling balloons out of his hat.
Hold on a second.
Alright. Balloons! Cheese Tree, I did see the Red Balloon movie, long time ago, like probably at least a decade ago. I only vaguely remember it, but I remember watching it. Yeah, I do remember it being very interesting. Alright, so the dandelion is laying in bed. And if you know how dandelions work, you know, once they've gone through their flowering phase, that's when they their seeds all come out and they start. You can, you know, you see it in the movies where they, you know, a kid will just blow on a dandelion and make a wish, and the seeds will go flying all over the place. And then those seeds will land somewhere, and then new dandelions will sprout. So it's like almost kind of an insidious way of the dandelion spreading and reproducing all over the place. That's why they're often generally seen as, you know, an unwanted weed, because they're notoriously easy when they notoriously will reproduce themselves dozens of times over. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm getting at here. Is once the dandelion goes down to rest, he enters his seed distribution cycle, and soon all the seeds come flying in around the house. And they find themselves and they go into little nooks and crannies that where no one will ever find them. Oh, jeez, that's funny. Then Alright, so whatever you do, say no to dandelions. So really, this could just go as an extension of, you can just, kind of make this a real world analogy of, don't let strangers into your home and let them sleep in your house. No matter how charming they may seem, don't let them get into your head. So let me go ahead and bring up the close-up view with this one. I think maybe I got a little over ambitious here. I did kind of have to cram in the last couple bits of this. Try to make it a little more clear, the story progression here when I color it. Alright, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and do Irene Pena's request. Who, speaking of which, Irene Pena is an awesome music streamer here on Twitch. I'll go ahead and give her a shout out. She's a singer-songwriter, plays the guitar. She and her husband, Hippo, play and stream together. It's a good time. Definitely go check her out and give her a follow if you're not following her already. And she requested flowers growing in a music bed, which she described like a planter full of music notes. And they don't like the music in an opposing flower pot bed. So I'll go ahead and do that. Alright, so this one's got his arm crossed. This one's... So I'm thinking this is going to be the classical music flowers. Well, the ones that they're scoffing at are the rock music flowers. Also, I just realized I've been going for 2 hours now. It's crazy. I did have one more drawing prompt planned, but I might actually stop after this one. Yeah, Cheese Tree, they're just snobs. They can't accept anything that isn't their way, their culture. Yeah, cheese tree, very much like that. Yes, they could certainly learn some manners. Ironic how the ones who see themselves as proper and real members of society are the ones who are being totally rude. Yeah, I'm sure the rocker flowers, who I still haven't drawn yet, I'll get to that in a second, are just very much laid back and totally polite and inviting and sociable. Yeah, that's what we call irony.
Hold on.
Because I have this flower here doing the devil horns. Hold on. Alright, there we go. Alright. This was for Irene Pena. Let me just see if I got all that I need to get done here. Yeah, I think I feel good about this. Yeah, let me go ahead and bring up the close-up view here. Alright, so I got one more drawing idea that I could put on paper, and then I think after that, I mean, I was kind of considering just stopping here, but I do have this one more idea that I want to put out, so I might as well get it out there while I still feel inclined. Usually by this point I'm totally ready to be done, but I could go for one more drawing. So yeah, let me go ahead and do this. It's gonna be one more 3-panel drawing. Cheese Tree, so my stream schedule is I do my drawing stream Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific. I start at 7 p.m. Pacific. And then on Saturday, at 1 p.m. Pacific, I do my coloring stream. Alright, so what I'm drawing here is these two kids. Well, flowers, but they're kid flowers. Out in the street, they're having a all-day play date. They've been having an all-day play date. They've been, playing all day. And they're discussing what their next activity is going to be. And there's the sunflower right here, shining down above them, or from above them. And in this drawing, the sunflower is like, actually acts like the sun. And it's getting to be, late afternoon, early evening, which means that, in the real world, the sun eventually goes down and we get the moon. So that would mean, of course, that in this universe, there must be some equivalent of that. So I've discovered over the last several weeks I've been doing my coloring stream on Saturdays that typically it ends up always being longer than my drawing stream was. It takes longer for me to color these drawings than it does to actually make the drawings. So with that in mind, given how long this stream is going tonight, ooh, that coloring stream is going to be a long one this Saturday. Gonna have to brace myself for it. We're coming up on 2.5 hours on this stream, so that means... I had a coloring stream a couple weeks ago that went over 3 hours. This week's could be like 3.5, at least. It's gonna be a long stream. For me, anyway. I don't tend to go any more than 3 hours max. And that was my first time doing a 3-hour stream at all. Like, I had never streamed for that long before. Cheese Tree, I think that that coloring stream was like, yeah, 3 hours and 5 minutes or so. I do start 5 minutes, I do go live 5 minutes early. Like I officially start at 7, but I actually start streaming at 6:55, and I have a kind of a splash screen up on the screen here. Stream starting soon type deal. And then at 7 o'clock I actually start my stream. So yeah, I think that one last time was like that one coloring stream was like 3 hours. And a little more than 3 hours plus the 5 minutes before I actually started streaming. But yeah, it was a long one. And it was a little weird because even that drawing stream that week didn't seem especially long. Like, it actually felt like one of my shorter ones. I was surprised how long the coloring stream ran for. So yeah, we got had the sunflower up a few, up in this these first two panels. Now we have the moonflower. Alright, just about done with this drawing, and then I'm going to call it a night. Big thank you to everyone who's stuck around through the entire stream. This is a much longer one than usual, so I greatly appreciate you hanging out. I know it's getting late. Alright, so there we go. The sunflower sets and the moonflower rises, and just like that, the day is over and the kids gotta go inside. Always sucks. Let me bring up the close-up view. Alright, so that is it for this week's drawing stream. Thank you so much to everyone who stopped by, hung out, made a request. I'm going to do my end of show recap like I usually do. And then I'm going to go find a raid target. Let me see who's live here. There's a couple different people I could raid. But first, let me go ahead and do the end of show recap. Bring up the close-up view once again. Alright, so G Street, thank you. Have a good night too. Alright, so I started off the night with this drawing of Tulip sitting at a red light, putting on her lipstick. And then she gets startled by someone honking at her. Turns out this Daffodil is impatiently waiting for her to go. And he's using his natural built-in horn to angrily honk at her. So it just kind of begged the question, who's in the wrong and who's in the right, because she should have been, paying better attention, but he's also being awfully rude. So, really, who's the one who's more at fault? The lesser of two evils, you could say. Alright, next up for Tracer Fett, here's a couple of banana trees throwing a banana back and forth, and there's a monkey in the middle trying to get his hands on the banana, but he just can't do it, no matter how hard he tries. This this could basically sum up a lot of life in general. Just you're trying, and just miss it. Frustration. And for Cheese343, he made a request for me to draw Charlie Chaplin picking a lemon off of a lemon tree. And I fleshed it out a little bit more by having it take place on a film strip. I have, kind of the previous frame and the next frame sort of sketched out here on either side. Oh, Sean C., thank you so much. Glad you enjoyed the show. Alright, next up we got a Ant Knight here arriving to save this damsel, this Princess Ant, from a tower. But then a Snapdragon arises from the abyss, and he's got his work cut out for him. The Snapdragons on this side are breathing fire at him to scare him, and the ones on this side are actually snapping Snapdragons, scaring the princess back into submission. Alright, what we got next here? Ah, yes, the Beware of Dandelions PSA. A dandelion that is a seemingly dapper fellow that holds a dark secret. If you allow him into your home, he'll charm you with his dandy ways. He pulls balloons out of his hat. What's fun? He may even convince you to let him stay the night, and that's when his true evil intentions are revealed. He releases his seeds throughout your home, where they bury themselves in every nook and cranny they can find. Then those seeds become merciless gremlins that will wreak all kinds of havoc. So whenever you do, say no to dandelions. They are the scum of the earth. Avoid them at all costs. And for our Irene Pena music, here's 2 beds of flowers with conflicting interests in music. Here you have the classical music flowers that are stuck up and snobby, and they're looking down their really tiny noses at the rocking flowers over here, who seem to be just having a good time, carefree, hanging loose. And yet here we got these guys just like, oh, what a bunch of noisy and brash individuals. Yeah, I'm sure they're really fun at parties. And finally, the one that I ended with tonight, the couple of girl flowers having fun on a play date, and they're deciding they're going to go roller skating next, but before they can do that, the sunflower sets and the moonflower comes up, and their parents tell them to come in. Time flies. So that is it for tonight's show. I wasn't exactly expecting this. I was not expecting this stream to go as long as it did. This was awesome. How many drawings did I have tonight? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, yeah, 7 drawings. I haven't had that much in a while, so that's cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream now and raid out to. I think I'm going to raid to a music streamer of mine that I'm a friend of, DJ John Robinson. I'm acquainted with him anyway. He's doing his music show, Sanctuary, so I'm going to go ahead and raid out to him. If you like good party music, he's a great channel to hang out on. So I'm going to go ahead and raid him, and you all have a great night. Take care.